Hi guys. So here I am again. Alright, couple things you obviously might have be able to see here. I have switched my camera angle because you can see I have this box here, right? And that's where my computer and stuff, it's just a tablet actually. Where that stuff is, and I used to keep the camera here, and then like it was fine, and I the angle was good, but I'm from Jersey. You can already see me doing it. When I talk, I'm like, I use my hands a lot. It's like I can't even help it. So I would notice when I'm editing my videos, like every time I get excited, the camera starts to bounce because you know what I mean. So yeah, I just switched the camera to this is an actual table, so hopefully it'll stay nice and steady. The only thing is, like 2 seconds after I took the stuff down to have a spot for the camera, guess what? Yeah, I'm not even gonna say it because I was so glad I got a picture because she just right there, right in the spot. And then when I turned this way to like start up the screen here so that I can read to you guys, freaking she's right here. Oh god, I love her. She's so cute. But she has to be right in the middle of everything. Now that she's inspected everything, now she left. So now we're probably good. What else? So, you know how I said I've been really like bleh, feeling terrible, sick? I'm still really bleh. Like I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but the thing is everything is making me so exhausted. It's like I'll do like one small task and then sleep for a day. I don't know what's making me so freaking tired. But it was also affecting like my appetite and my mood, and so CBD oil, you guys, is the way to go, or THC, whichever one you want to get your hands on. No, but seriously, I'm talking about for medicinal use for anxiety, depression, that kind of thing. It's wonderful. This is what I'm smoking. And it's Delta 8, so this is hemp based. It's not marijuana based. So it's like the same kind of thing, but it's a lot more mellow. And of course, it is vapor, so it just evaporates. There's no odor, there's no smoke, there's no damage to the house. I don't have to go outside and freeze my ass off. It's all good. It's actually, I don't even think there's any smell. Most of you guys know, like, if you know me from life, like outside, like people that know me. I had an accident in 2009 and I hit the back of my head, and ever since then I can't smell. Like, I can sense if there's something in the air that smells, but I can't smell it anymore. Like, ever since I hit my head, the receptor, whatever that's, makes me be able to smell is destroyed or damaged. Like, they don't know if it'll ever come back. And it's like I said, that was 2009. It's still not back. Sometimes, at like occasionally, if I smell something, I get really excited. But I digress. These don't have any odor. They're amazing, and I just wanted to mention that because you don't have to be in New Jersey. This is legal everywhere because it's not, like I said, it's not marijuana. It's hemp. All right. So, I want to talk about today Brian Kohberger and the very extremely disturbing shit that he was talking about, like, as a kid. He was only 17 when he wrote these, so sad, these freaking posts that he wrote. Like, devastating, because he like he suffered, I don't know if he still does, with something called visual snow. I don't know if I have any viewers out there that are familiar with it, but Brian says in these, it's some sort of a medical, I want to say, like a messaging board, like a medical messaging board, like where a bunch of people that have this same medical condition can sort of compare notes and speak to each other. Like, that's the kind of website this is. And I mean, I don't know who found it, but web sleuths are amazing, you guys. Like, they really, really, really are. I mean, it's gotta be, like, super helpful to law enforcement to, I mean, the ones of us that are well meaning and not psychopaths. You know, like the ones that are genuinely trying to help, not just get themselves into the middle of a investigation. You know what I mean? So I was trying to use earbuds, and like I thought that would help me with the microphone. I don't know, like, are you guys like feeling any difference? I'm not sure. I just want to mention that I am doing that. These are, I don't like, I know that everyone's big on the Apple AirPods. Well, these are Google Pixel Buds, so they're like the same thing but for Samsung, basically. You know, like if you got the top of the line Android phone, these are like the best buds you can get for Androids, basically. At least that's what my father told me. I'm not sure. My father, I believe everything my dad says. Still, he's like a genius to me. Like, I'm sure there are things that he's wrong about, but in my eyes, my dad's always right. So yeah. Anyway, I digress. The stuff that's been coming up about Kohberger is literally terrifying. And I don't think there's any way, shape, or form that this is not truly him. Like, I, I'm sure it's him, and that's makes it even scarier because if you consider that when he wrote this, because he wrote it in 2011, so he was 17 years old. So he's 17 years old and suffering with this horrible, horrible condition, like where he would have them, like it started off as migraines, but then he's got, like, he's seeing things, visual snow. It's like seeing, like, you know, when the TV does the fuzzy thing, you know? It's like seeing that everywhere. And he said his life feels like a movie, really depersonalized. I'm gonna read the whole thing to you guys, but it's like, it's got me so worried that, like, they're gonna say he's not fit to stand trial because they've already done that. Now think about it. This is Idaho, okay? They don't have not guilty by reason of insanity. Like, that's not an option. But they will find you not able to be tried. They'll find you too crazy to go to court, but you can't claim that you're crazy and not guilty. You understand? It's a little weird, but I think that's kind of how it works. It's crazy. Like, they it's not like they haven't acted on this to make me feel worried, because they have. They just did it with Lori Vallow and the other one with the face. Oh God. Sorry. Oh, Sarah Wondra, the one with the, she looks like she hates everybody face, and she's I can't look at people that are accused of that. Like, her and her husband took that little boy from his mom and dad right around the corner, and God knows what they did to him, but he's gone, you know? And she hasn't been found fit for trial. So what do they do with these people? Just leave them sit there, like, you know, with doctors until doctors get them to the point where they can go to trial? And then they find them guilty even though they're crazy? Because, I mean, I'm on board with that. I'm not real sure what they're gonna do, though. But Kohberger is obviously crazy, though. Like, obviously. These posts are terrifying, coming from a 17-year-old boy. And, like, I'm sure he had no clue when he wrote this where he would be today. Like, I bet you his lawyers will find this and mention it to him, and he'll be like, oh yeah. Like, I highly doubt he even remembers doing this. Like, it's right around the time when he was supposedly on drugs, or maybe in rehab, but like in that emotional whirlwind period of getting high and getting sober, and that where you're in the headspace that you're in it's you spin constantly, you know? It's like you just, yeah, your mind just goes and goes and goes. And I feel like he was probably rambling on and just getting feelings out on one of these messaging boards, thinking like nobody will ever see this. He calls himself XR, EXARR. The account is on a website, Tap a Talk. TAPATALK. Tap a Talk, right? And the forum is those with visual snow. So you want to look for XR / those with virtual snow. Yeah, it's genuinely scary, and I don't see, the thing is, I'm not sure the order of how he posted these. I was not able to like find the actual site and scroll that way. I had to go by screenshots from within. They have a real good subreddit on Reddit for like if you wanted to go down the hole. One of those Reddit holes where you're like, whoa. um yeah, that's kind of where I was ending up with this Kohberger stuff, and it actually scares me to think, like, is this dude gonna get away with this? Because, well, not he's not gonna get away with it. No, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that he's gonna straight walk at all. Like, no, but the way they treat insanity out there is different than they treat it here. Like, here, not guilty by reason of insanity is a thing, and a lot of people claim it, and they're actually genuinely crazy, and a lot of the times they're ending up locked up longer than people that are, guilty, because just the way that it works. They want to keep you in the hospital and under observation until you are absolutely positively not a danger to yourself or the outside world. And that, with Brian, I don't know if it's possible. Like, I don't think you can rehabilitate this. I think there's something very, very, very wrong with his brain, and it's truly scary. All right, I'm just gonna start with one of the posts. It says it was the 4th of July, actually, in 2011. Like I said, that would have made him 17 years old. He starts off, and I'm gonna put this up on the screen so you guys can see it as I'm reading it as well. Alright, I've had this horrible depersonalization go on in my life for almost 2 years. I often find myself making simple human interactions, but as if I am playing a role-playing game such as Oblivion. I can see what's going on, I'm slightly into it, but I can pause the game and focus on my real life. In this case, my life is the game, and my old self can be reached by pausing the game, but how? I often think of things that humans do, things I have done my whole life. I feel like an organic sack of meat with no self-worth, as I am starting to view everyone as this. Everything I have ever done makes no sense. How did things get this way? How am I wearing this shirt, and who decided that humans shall wear shirts like this? Are we all just advanced animals with possession, or is there more than I can't see? I can't connect. I view everything as I would if I was playing Oblivion, pointless and full of nothing. Out of reality, I am moving out of my house. My last holidays were already lived. But where was I? As my family group hugs and celebrates, I am stuck in the void of nothing. Feeling completely no emotion, feeling nothing. I feel dirty, like there's dirt inside of my head, my mind. I am always dizzy and confused. I feel no self-worth. I am intelligent, but I feel the opposite. I say things I don't mean. The last holiday in my house, the house I grew up in, the house I once contributed to, the house I once felt at home in, is past. As I hug my family, I look into their faces and I see nothing. It's like I'm looking at a video game, but less. I feel less than mentally damaged. It's like I have severe brain damage, you guys. I mean, this is horrifying. You feel bad for this kid, this 17-year-old kid. Like, this is a cry for help. It really is, and he's screaming for help, but nobody's listening. It's a message board on something called Tapatalk, which, is that just like you're looking for somebody to talk to? Because I think that's what it is. It's like not specifically for this visual snow thing, but that seems to be where it started. I'm stuck in the depths of my mind where I have to go constantly battle my demons. Am I here or am I fake? I feel myself slipping away. I hear screams faintly, but I constantly battle away from it. Can you imagine that? Hearing screaming in your head? Just wow, you guys. And I'm telling you, he was writing this when he was a kid. He wasn't thinking, I'm gonna murder 4 people and they'll look this up and it'll prove I'm crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't planning this when he was 17, I would hope. I don't know. It's just horrific. I feel bad. Like, he hears screams faintly in his head and has to, like, tell himself, hey, man, it's not real. It's like schizophrenic bullshit, right? I don't know, you guys. Alright, he says, what if I let go? Where would I be? Would I ever come back to reality? I try to remember where I originated from, but I can't. I barely remember my childhood. I often fear being 80 years old, alone, and having faint memories of my parents. Everything I missed out on. I think about my father, what a good man he is. How I treat him like dirt because I have this condition, and I can't take it. I might spiral out of control and lose myself in the void. I can't let it all go. You guys, he let it go. All of these regrets I predict for my future self. All of these thoughts of remorse. I got this when I was in my stage of discovery. Now I look in the mirror and I see this sickly, tired, useless, and stupid man in the mirror. He is a complete disgrace. He doesn't even deserve to live. I remember when I was 15, I would wander alone at 2 a.m. Everything was so generic. Nowhere felt like home. I saw things that were not there. A different reality. I felt eerie and alone. I died during those nights. I felt like a criminal, but where was my record? I can't talk without flinching now. I used to be this healthy, blonde-haired boy with blue eyes, and in a few years I have darker hair and darker eyes. Half the body weight. Where did I leave off? I try to sleep, I try to clear my head, but the pressure won't go away. The pain and depression won't leave. Being me is this horrible disease that I was given. I think of this as I succumb to sleep. But I see a large intensity of black, white, yellow fuzz. It makes my mind fizzle, and I can barely keep in the bounds of reality. It is as if the ringing in my ears and the fuzz in my vision is simply all of the demons in my head mocking me. I fall asleep, but I wake up quickly to bloody screams. Is any of this here? Am I brain damaged? No? Then why am I like this? I have these thoughts all in my head. I look up. I see blue dots near the center of my vision. When I feel slightly calm, it gets hard to breathe, and I see dots in my vision. Nothing I do is enjoyable. So that goes on somewhere, and I'm trying to find it. Like, I'm trying to find where. I don't see, that's the thing. This is very disjointed, and I apologize, but like, that's really what I wanted to read to you guys. Just the screaming in his head and the seeing things that aren't there, and he sounds like a total schizophrenic. He sounds absolutely terrified. He sounds like, oh God, somebody stop me before I do something that I'm going to regret. Here we are. But you guys see what I mean? Like, I genuinely think this dude is crazy. I'm not saying he should get away with what he did. No, not at all. But, like, I don't know if we really need the long, drawn-out, bloody, horrible retelling and traumatizing trial if the dude's a nut job. I don't know. But I mean, I saw other channels were reading this, and I was just like, you guys, I may only have a handful of followers, but you needed to hear this. Like, this is some crazy shit. Like, Kohberger is certifiable. I mean, like, the dude is very, very crazy. And, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's not crazy. Maybe this was like a thing because he was in not really puberty, 17, but like we're all saying he's an incel, right? Like we all agree like the dude was not getting laid, like not even no. Like he was I heard that he was telling his male friends that he could have any girl at the bar and he's just bored with it. That's why he doesn't bother. Sure, Bri. Sure, Bri. I'll believe that. You're just, ugh, get away from me, all you women. Just, yeah, okay. But I think that he, somewhere in his head, he, equates, like, sexual thoughts with violence in his head. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's something in there is crossed, the wrong way. And when he thinks of sex, he just thinks of violence. Like, it's a package deal, which sucks. But screaming in his head and demons and visual snow and wow, you guys, he's really crazy, and I hope that they don't use that to make this any easier on him. Like, I don't think Idaho's a tough state. They're not gonna, like I said, you cannot be found guilty by reason of insanity. It doesn't, or not guilty by reason, it doesn't like exist there. They don't like have that. So, but like I said, I have seen both Lori Vallow and Sarah Wondra be held back saying we're not fit for trial. So Vallow has since been cleared, so we saw her in court, but Wondra I think we're still waiting on, which, I mean, we don't know the whole story there anyway. Like, I'm sort of still kind of dreading hearing what happened to that poor little boy. I don't know that the authorities are 100% sure as to what happened just yet. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to sign off for now. I just wanted to, read that off to you guys and ask, what do you think? I mean, is he like, what do you think about his chances are, like, of just ending up in a hospital for the rest of his life? Let me know what you think. I'm curious, and I'm gonna keep making these short little Idaho videos now that it's, go on the way to court. In the meantime, I'm gonna work on some other cases that I'm gonna do, like, on the side. Like how I did Diane Downs, which I always wanted to do that my whole life. No one's really watching it. It doesn't really bother me because, like, I just had fun making it. But, I don't know, if there's anything that you guys want to see, can you hit my comments section? Let me know. Like, if you suggest a case for me, I would be more than happy to take a look at it. And, do it for you. My ex, very close friend person suggested Jodi Arias and Casey Anthony, and Jodi Arias, yeah, I might be able to do that one, but Casey Anthony, oh god. Yeah. There are few women I hate that much, and like, I do hate Diane Downs, and I even mentioned in the Diane Downs video how Casey Anthony reminds me of her, but times 3. I will get to it. It's just, I'm not ready right now. This whole Peacock shit is still really raw with me. If you watch Stephanie Harlow, like, debunk that entire documentary, thank God, girl, I love you, I worship you, mwah, mwah, mwah. Stephanie, that was amazing. Like, seriously, amazing. My favorite thing in the whole world was just listening to the snarky shit that you said as you were watching it. It was amazing. Everything that you were thinking and saying, I was thinking. It was like, my brain and your mouth. I swear to God, Stephanie Harlow, oh, you are a goddess. And that was an amazing, amazing debunking. 3 hours, I would watch it again because it was so freaking good. She nailed every single thing that that stupid documentary lied about. I can't believe I have people actually messaging me and telling me that they really think that Casey is innocent. I'm like, how did this happen? How? Casey is so not innocent, you guys. There will never be. I mean, she did not get found guilty because the jury only had that option. They didn't have the option to just find her guilty of manslaughter or a lesser charge. It was all or nothing, and they didn't want to put the woman to death with the teensy, teensy, teensy possibility that maybe somebody else, like, was involved or helped her. She did it. There's no way around that, you guys. There was, and I will only have to say this one time, there was a piece of human head hair in Casey's trunk that had death banding. Death banding, not hair banding. The documentary said hair banding, trying to sound all smart. That's not what it's called. It's called death banding, and it does not appear in hair of any person who is not dead, okay? So this piece of hair that was in Casey Anthony's trunk came from a dead human being, okay? Now, scratch everything else. Pretend that's all we know. We only know it's a dead human, right? Now, they run the DNA on the same piece of hair it doesn't have the root. So it wasn't ripped out of the dead person's head. It fell out of the dead person's head. So there was no root, therefore no personal DNA. There was, however, mitochondrial DNA, which that's like it looks for the female portion of the DNA strand or something to that effect. And this was able to prove that hair, that one piece of hair, came from a female in the Anthony family. There are only 3 females in the Anthony family, and only one of those 3 is dead. There you go. Boom. Casey Anthony killed her daughter and put the child's body in the trunk of her car. And that's all there is to it. No ifs, ands, or buts. She was in the trunk, she was dead, and it was her. I just explained to you how that was proved. There's no way it was George, and I'm never going to go on to that, again, until I finally get around to making a video about the entire case, which I will. But I just wanted to get that out there for everybody that's still saying that George did it. That is not the case. George is a lunatic. He's a weirdo. He's a cheater. He's a gambler. Whatever you want to say about George. Even if he was really molesting Casey and Kaylee, which I doubt. I really, really doubt it, okay? I doubt it. But even if, that doesn't make him a murderer. He did not kill her. I'm telling you. It's definitely Casey. And I'm done with that conversation. And, let me know what you guys think again with this Brian Kohberger shit, because the dude is so crazy, and I'm, really worried. Alright? And I will catch you guys on the next one. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love ya. Bye.